Hello! Today we've got a tutorial of a red eye look for you. I got this idea simply because like a few weeks ago I did a tutorial on a yellow eye look because a friend of mine suggested that I'd use that color because it's not a very common color to be used in an eye look. Yeah. So yeah, I thought it'd be fun to just use another like non-commonly used color. So I chose red because, you know, it's still autumn and I think when this goes up it's still autumn. Oh well, either way, yeah, this suits very well with autumn, but it could also be used for winter and, you know, it's just a fun color to use, I guess. I think it does sort of, doesn't look all that good with my hair color, but oh well. Let's just get started. Okay, for this look I'm mainly going to use more expensive palettes because, yep. For the main reason just because I happen to have those colors only in more expensive palettes. So, yep. So I'm going to use these two Peggy Sage palettes, and actually the red color and the orange color. These are the sort of palettes that you can just put together yourself. So they don't originally come like this, I just happen to have them, you know, like this in their packaging. But yeah, basically, actually I think the red one is actually a blush, but it works perfectly as an eyeshadow. And I'm also going to use the Decay Naked 3 palette because it has a lot of shimmery nude colors, and that's what I'm going to start out with. That is after the base, because I'm going to start out with the base as usual. I'm going to use the Maybelline Color Tattoo in the shade Crème de Rose. I keep trying to make it sound French because it is supposed to be French, but I'm too bad at French. Yeah, but yeah. I always list it in the video anyways, and below the video what it's actually called, so yeah, you can always read it there. And I'm just using a eyeshadow brush by Sigma. I used to always use a eyeshadow brush by Body Shop that I didn't particularly like. But I don't know, lately I've just been using the Sigma brush because, I don't know, it just applies it way better, way smoother, way easier. And as long as I just wipe the brush off on the towel, I mean I have a towel on my lap here, it just looks perfectly again after that, so yeah. I don't know, I just prefer to use that one now. So yeah, then I'm just going to move on to the crease immediately. Because I do want like colors like these, you know, you gotta make sure they're blended because otherwise you're gonna look as if your eyes are really irritated with colors like red and everything. You don't want it to go blotchy. So I'm gonna start out with some nude colors. I'm gonna start out with Nooner, which is a taupe shade. By the way, if your skin is a lot paler than mine, then you might want to start out with a paler color. And obviously if your skin is a lot darker than mine, you want to start out with a darker color. Because this really is going to be defining the crease already. And I'm really putting this in the center of my crease. I'm not going on the outer V or anything. I'm just really keeping it in the crease and blending it. And once that's properly blended, I'm going to use Limit, which is a slightly paler shade, and put that slightly above it. Like that. And yeah, then you basically have nude look. We could stop here if you just want the nude look. But I'm going to continue to make it into this, but yeah, this is basically a nude look. Wait, give me a second, I'm gonna change the lighting a bit. Really annoying, the sun keeps changing, so then there's like more light to that side, and yeah. And if it's too much light on one side, I can't see what I'm doing. But yeah, okay, when I want that on there, I'm going to use a different brush. I'm going to use a... Where did you go? Oh, there you are. This brush is short eyeshadow brush because I'm immediately going to highlight underneath my eyebrow because that's something I always forget. So, you know, I prefer to do that at the beginning nowadays because otherwise I'll just end up forgetting it. So I'm going to start out with Strange. The off-white color. I really need to tweeze my eyebrows again. Sorry about that. And I'm also putting a little bit of dust. It's called dust? Yeah. Dust over that, which is a sheer shimmery shade. Sheer shimmery shade. Sounds funny. Just to give it a little bit extra dimension, I guess. Because I'm gonna keep the crease matte, so I prefer to like have it contours with shimmers. Basically. Then I'm going to move on to a different brush again. short eyeshadow brush, and with that I'm going to use the color Buzz, which is sort of a metallic gold, rose gold shade, I guess. Well, you can see what it looks like. I'm really awful at describing nude shades, I guess. Not putting it all the way in the inner corner because I want to highlight it later. But I'm just putting it on the eyelid. Just going to give a little bit of shimmer later. Then I'm going to use the same brush and the color Strange again, the same as I used on my eyebrows. Followed by Dust, which is also the same I used on my eyebrows. I think Dust can be a very pretty highlighter on its own with a simple look, but with other colors involved, I prefer it over Strange just because it goes paler then. But yeah, then that's it for the natural part. Then I'm going to move on to the darker colors. I'm going to start out with a angled brush and the orange shade. I don't want to go immediately in with the red shade simply because it's quite a dark shade and just makes it easier to blend. There's already other color underneath it. As you can see, it does cover really well, this orange shade. That is a very important thing, I think, with looks like this, like with colors like these. Ow, I just poked myself in the eye. Because if it's just a hint of orange or red, it just, I don't know, it gives more of a risk of just looking as if you get really irritated eyes. Well, if the color is like clearly on there, then it's just clear that it's supposed to be there. So yeah, and another thing is to blend it really well. Like with every step I continue to blend because I just really don't want this to go blotchy. I really just want this to look, well, not natural, but smooth and blended. So once that's done, just adding a little bit more to the outer corner. Okay. Once that's done, I'm going to move on to a different brush, a smaller one. Okay, it's over here. A little round one and the red shades. Red, everyone knows what red looks like. And like I said, this is originally a blush. You can just use a blush for this. One warning though, some blushes do sort of stain the skin in. You don't really want, I mean, I personally wouldn't really want red stains on my eyes because again I don't want to look as if I got really irritated eyes. And I'm just, once it's like applied like this, I'm just wiping off the brush on my towel just because I don't want to add too much product and then start blending it. And due to the orange, the blending just goes a little bit smoother. And then it's pretty much blended. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of, well, you could use this regular black, but I'm going to use Blackheart from the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette. Simply because it has red shimmers in it, and I almost slammed it shut with my fingers between it. But yeah, it has red shimmers in it, red-ish shimmers, more like golden red. Well, you get what I mean, it looks good with red. So I'm going to put it on the same brush and really only put it in the outer corner. And I'm sort of making sort of a V shape, cat shape. Well, you'll see what I mean when I'm done. But yeah, I'm really concentrating this only on the outer V. And then wiping off my brush again. And start blending it. And I am blending it pretty far, but you know, I don't want to add too much color over it because otherwise it will just cover the red. And I do really want the red itself to stand out. And once it's blended as far as it'll go with this tiny brush, like this part, like the actual outer corner, I really want to get smooth with this brush. Because I do want the color to be intense there. But to blend it with the rest of the eye, I'm just going to use the big fluffy blending brush. And just go like this and blend and blend and blend and blend until it looks good. Which might take a while, but you know, I've got time. Because that's really just the thing with it looks like these, I just really prefer them to be well blended. I am going to like keep the V shape, not really V shape, more like, well, this is what I meant, the cat eye shape basically. You could just, you could leave that out if you prefer it to be less cat eye shapes, I guess. Because I am going to add a winged liner, so that just ties in nicely with it. But yeah, with a makeup look, as usual, you can just leave out any part you don't personally like. So yep, then it's time to not forget the bottom of the eye, because I almost forgot about that. I'm going to use a short brush and a red shade. Wait, I'm going to start out actually with Buzz, which is the color that I used on the center of the eyelid first. And just really put it all over the bottom eyelid. I'm just going to continue calling it the bottom eyelid. Not sure if that's actually what it's called, but yeah. Then I'm going to move on to the red shade and put it in the outer corner. And again, really blend it well. Not going to blend this downwards because again I don't want to irritate the eye effect. And I'm going to add a little bit to the other eye. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the eyeshadow part. Then it's time to move on to liners. I'm going to set out with a pencil eyeliner. I didn't want to go for a black one this time, so I went for a white one instead. And I'm using a metallic one because again the crease is matte and I like to tie in some shimmery shade with it. And I'm also going to use the Catrice Cake eyeliner, but this time I'm going to use it dry. You could also, if you don't have something like this, you could also just use a really black eyeshadow. That would also work, like Blackheart from the Urban Decay palette would work. And an angled brush. When I use this stuff wet, almost dropped it. When I use this stuff wet, I prefer to use a pointy brush, but when I use it dry, I prefer to use a brush like this. And I'm just going to blend that part a little bit better. Okay. But yeah, I'm using it dry this time, so I'm just going to use it with a angled brush. I don't know, it just goes quicker, I guess. And I'm keeping it at a thin line because I do really want this to be about the colors and not about the eyeliner. Which is also why I'm using it dry, just stays more subtle that way. Okay. And because I prefer winged eyeliner, I'm also going to add a little wing. And that's really something I find a little bit more difficult with a brush like this. Some people find it easier, I find it more difficult simply because I keep having this tendency to put it on my eye in the wrong way and change the entire shape of the wing, and then just, yeah, it just goes weird, I guess. Okay, just gonna elongate this side. The hardest part about winged eyeliner, getting it to look even. Almost gonna leave it alone. Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone now, otherwise I'll end up with eyeliner until my hair starts, I guess, yeah. So yeah. Then the last step is mascara. I'm gonna use Catrice Glamour Doll mascara. Of course you could also just use, false eyelashes or something. Mascara and false eyelashes. I don't feel like using falsies today, so I'm just gonna keep it at mascara. Also, you might have noticed I painted my eyelashes again. So I really don't feel like it needs to be all that, extremely covered, I guess. And the bottom lashes, and yeah. Then the eye look is pretty much. And now I'm in the process of adding lipstick. I'm using the Moisture Renew lipstick by Rimmel in the shade In Love with Ginger, the one with the purple cap on it, yeah. It's one of my favorite shades for autumn, but I also love it in winter. I just love the color. So this is the final look. I hope you like it and I hope you at least enjoyed watching this video. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time. Bye! Okay, this is pretty much how it turned out. I actually did, as you may notice, change the other side a bit to get it to match